All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the Detroit Lions, folks, for the first time since 1993. The NFC Central is in the Detroit Lions' hands. This is the best way to possibly spend Christmas Eve here. And we also got a Packers win. I'm gonna sprinkle that in there. Guys, this was a gritty, grindy game, 30-24 on the road against the Minnesota Vikings. They are fighting for their life. They are playing, backup Nick Mullins, and Detroit, with a win here, seals the deal to get to 11-4 on the season to try and maintain that great seeding that they have for a deep playoff hopeful run. And you take down a rival on Christmas Eve. This isn't going to knock out the Vikings in the playoffs, but you play them one more time, and a win there definitely does take out the Minnesota Vikings. So I know my Lions fans are absolutely ecstatic. I hope you guys all have a great Christmas Eve. I hope you guys all have a great Christmas. And we're going to briefly talk about the Detroit Lions victory this afternoon. But guys, before we do, if you enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. We're going to shoot for the moon because it's, we're feeling jolly, we're feeling merry. Let's try and get this video to 1,000 likes. That would be absolutely insane. I think maybe throw a little incentive in there. I'd cop a Sam Laporta jersey if this video gets 1,000 likes. Anyways, gritty, grindy game. All right. I have a feeling that as the week goes by, some of my Lions fans and NFL, anti-Lions people are going to nitpick and critique this football game. Guys, when you're on the road in week 16 of the National Football League, it's not going to be an easy victory. This felt like playoff football. And at the end of the day, the Detroit Lions got the victory. So let's take a look into some things I liked. First off, they dominated the trenches offensively and defensively. They held time of possession in their favor, 38 minutes to Minnesota's just 21. If anything, they put a 389 yards, 6-12 on third down. If anything, I think they could have scored a bunch more points this afternoon. But hey, I'm going to take the victory, and I'm also going to take 30 points. They did have that one turnover, the Jahmyr Gibbs fumble. We'll talk about that a little later on. But Jared Goff and keep in mind, guys, we got to keep this in mind. The Minnesota Vikings defense with Brian Flores is doing a phenomenal job this season. They have been lights out for the second half of the year. They are a phenomenal blitz team. They've got guys stepping up all over the defense. And, if you're a Lions fan, you watch this game, you know for a fact it wasn't easy. Anytime you play Minnesota this season, whether it's week 16, week 6, whatever, it's not going to be an easy victory, no matter who you're going up against. Quarterback Kirk, Nick Mullins, Josh Dobbs, it doesn't matter. But Jared Goff, 30 of 40, 257 yards, 1 touchdown. Most importantly, another game with 0 interceptions. This is exactly what we want to see heading into the playoffs. Guys, it's exactly what I want to see heading into the playoffs. We saw the rush game. Jahmyr Gibbs, my rookie stud running back, 15 carries, 80 yards, 2 touchdowns. Sugar and Spice duo. We're going to go with Sugar and Spice. I couldn't think of something there. 17 rushes, 55 yards, and a touchdown for David Montgomery. Guys, the Vikings rush defense is very solid, and in general, their defense, statistically, is top 10 as far as opponent points per game goes. So putting up 30 on this Vikings defense on the road is a success in and of itself. But the Lions rushing attack, 143 yards, averaged 4 yards per carry, and they had 3 touchdowns. That's a stat line that is going to win you playoff football games. That's going to win you football playoff games, all right? Amon-Ra St. Brown feasted. He's acting like it's Thanksgiving out here. 12 catches, 106 yards, and a touchdown. Jameson Williams, another great week from him. 5 catches for 43 yards. I know that stat line doesn't necessarily, shock you. It doesn't blow you out of the water. It doesn't, why can't we think of any sayings in today's video? It didn't knock your socks off of you, but last week against Denver, 4 catches for 47 yards, and this week, 5 catches for 43 yards. If I have Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jared Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Sam Laporta getting Jameson Williams going for the last month of the season, this is by design. Ben Johnson is doing this by design. Everything is falling exactly into place. And I do want to just mention that offensive versatility, and we talk about this every single week whenever we talk about the Lions. Ben Johnson's not going to reveal all of his cards, right? But he's definitely showing us a little bit of some stuff I assume we're going to see once playoff comes, just kind of like crazy I can't even think of the word, just crazy offensive play calling at different times to just really try and open the field up and get some big time plays. And I just like the offensive versatility. This is certainly stuff they're going to continue to work on in these last 2 months of the last 2 weeks of the regular season. And yeah, take a notice of that. I know a lot of Lions fans have been, but for the last, hopefully we have at least another month of Lions playoff football going, so keep an eye on that. Outside of that, Khalif Raymond, 2 catches, 29 yards. Jahmyr Gibbs, 4 catches, 20 yards. Very quiet night for Sam Laporta, 3 catches for 18 yards. He only saw 3 targets. I have him in fantasy football, and it is the semifinal, so I thought he was wide open on a multitude of different plays. But at the end of the day, the Vikings blitz, and you want as many blockers as humanly possible during certain blitzes, all right? Want to sprinkle in, we did see Donovan Peoples-Jones get 1 catch for 11 yards. If he gets like a catch a game in the playoffs, I will say that trade was worth it at the deadline. All right. So let's talk about this defense because they were all over it. They forced 4 interceptions against Nick Mullins. Kirby Joseph, U of I legend. We're recording this in Illinois. We're back home for the holidays. My U of I legend, 2 interceptions. Melifonwu, this dude, the announcers were losing it with this guy. He had a beautiful interception. Brian Branch had a beautiful interception. He could have had a couple of more, but this defense, guys, they were all over it. And I know they gave up 24 points. Nick Mullins had a 411 yards passing, but he threw so many interceptions, and I actually never really felt like the Vikings were going to win this football game, but I never felt like they actually had the Lions defense figured out. If we're talking playoff football, let's say you're going up against the Cowgirls, in the second round of the playoffs or whatever, if you are giving up 411 yards of passing offense to Dak Prescott, but you only give up 24 points and you have 4 interceptions, personally, that works for me. Obviously, you want to win that football game, but some more things I absolutely love. First off, Melifonwu was all over the place. Not only did he have that winning interception, he had 5 total tackles, and most importantly, he had 2 total sacks. We saw the stat line. If you guys saw it, Aiden Hutchinson leads the NFL in quarterback pressures, quarterback hurries. He needs some help, though. And so we're talking about guys, getting guys like James Houston back soon. Aaliyah McNeil should be coming back by the time the season ends. CJ Gardner-Johnson, I know he's a DB, but he'll be back sooner rather than later. Getting to that quarterback, even if it doesn't show up on the stat sheet, is absolutely huge. And Aiden Hutchinson this afternoon technically had 0 tackles, but he was all over the place, forcing Nick Mullins to make mistakes and just generating quarterback pressures. But the Detroit Lions as a team, 2 forced fumbles, 4 interceptions, and then the beautiful stat line, 4 total sacks. This defense, led by Aaron Glenn, is coming together at the right time. All right, so you got 2 games left. You got the Dallas Cowgirls next Saturday night on the road, going to be must-watch TV, and then you finish it off at home against the Minnesota Vikings, which I would assume a victory there knocks them out of the playoffs. I do think the Detroit Lions go 13-4, and we'll see what happens with seeding. A win next week is just absolutely huge. We'll obviously talk about that as the time comes. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Have a great Christmas. Have a great Christmas Eve, and we will see you next time.